So we're going to go at 5 o'clock to Brave and Lee Projects, where Nina Bavasso's show is, because she's in my collection too. And we're wondering if you don't, would you mind like being in the videotape just a little bit, if meeting us there? You don't mind, right? And then we'll go to openings. I got a really good list.
Hi.
Nice seeing you.
Nice to see you.
I'm excited to see Nina's show.
Yeah?
But, you know, I have several works by her. I think I have like 8 works by her.
Wow, 8.
Yeah.
Big, small, diptychs?
I have a nice sized diptych, and I have a painting too on canvas, and several works on paper. And actually, she gave me a gift once. It's a really nice piece.
That's nice.
But this looks like a change. There's always a change. I was just talking about how I'm against flowers in art and in clothes. But sometimes it enters. but sometimes it enters my collection like in a kitschy way. Where did she work on these, in Amsterdam?
No, she's doing a residency in Athens, Georgia.
Oh right, I actually knew that.
And so at the same time, she had to work on a show for Inman Gallery in Texas.
Right.
Her show in Athens, Georgia, and this.
Wow. This is my favorite piece. I have a piece by her that reminds me of a roller coaster ride or a New Year's Eve party. I could actually show it to you. Anyway. See, now that I look at it, it doesn't remind me that much. But
this one more, really has a roller coaster feeling too. That's beautiful.
Oh wow. Yeah, my piece has some of that metallic stuff, the iridescent paint. No, that's amazing.
Love it. Did you see, I don't know if you saw this. I'll give you a copy since you're a fan.
Oh wow, already.
And inside, another huge reproduction. It's great.
Really?
Just look at that.
I think this show's going to be a smash hit.
I hope so.
What do you think of the work, Elliot?
You know, I was introduced to her through your collection.
This is Elliot Green, by the way. And, I talked about your work in my collection. You know, I have a variety of your work. I have a painting from the Fallbush days, and then I have one of you rip out from Porno magazine, and then that drawing of the fishermen of the ice.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he has a full array of my stuff. You know, we grew up near each other in Michigan. We both lived in New York for 25 years, right? But we met through, because he goes traveling everywhere and goes to every gallery in every city, and so through his wide tendrils, we
I do have to ask
each other again.
how you work it out, your work schedule, and every art fair that there is.
You know,
Because there's almost one every other month.
Well, I don't go to every one, but I'm senior at my job. I've had my job for 21 years, and I get some vacations. And
So come back to the opening.
yeah, I'll be back.
It was great seeing you.
All right, we'll see you later.
It was good seeing you.
Welcome to my home, which is more an art museum than a home, really. As you can see here, I like living with art. I like what I have to be on the walls. The collection that's happened over all these years. It started in the 70s. My first acquisition was an Alex Katz cutout and a Lichtenstein print. A lot of themes have popped up just subconsciously, like art about art, seduction meets repulsion, painting without paint, dysfunctional family, photography of invention. Art about art is extremely important to me, which is a huge theme in my collection. I mean, Cindy Sherman, who's one of the first artists I collected in depth, she's definitely art, about culture. She looks at different periods of time. She looks at film noir. Philip Ackerman, he's a Dutch artist who has the tradition of Van Gogh and portraits. I like an obsessive artist like this. That's all he does is self-portraits. This is one of my larger pieces of my collection. It's by Nikki Hoberman. I think this is one of my masterpieces of dysfunctional family. It's beautifully, beautifully painted, but yet there's something off here. This girl is not having a good childhood. This is an artist named Wangechi Mutu. It's fashion meets war. It's an old-fashioned collage technique, but she cuts out from fashion magazines, and she also uses watercolor. It looks like this beautiful model was holding a hand grenade and it blew up in her hand. Every Sunday, very religiously, I don't go to a religious institution on Sunday. Sunday I go to museums, and Saturdays I go to galleries. Some Sundays I do studio visits. In 1973 I went to New York on my own and went to all the museums to see all this art that I had studied. I would go to the bookstore and buy postcards of the pieces I liked, and then outside on the streets in front of the museums there were all these hawkers selling reproduction posters of all the artists, like for $3 or $5. And that's when I started living with art. Well, I had to buy a whole new briefcase just to carry all the postcards home. Every time I moved into an apartment, I had all my art posters that I bought in the streets of New York, and I plastered the walls with art posters. So it's sort of the same thing I'm still doing now. It's my need to live with art. I do have an addictive type of personality, but not for bad things. I don't smoke. I don't drink alcohol. I don't drink coffee. But I'm addicted to art, which is a good thing.